Deep, deep down in the clear, cool lake lived a tiny, shiny fishing lure. His name was Lure. He wasn't a fish with scales or a frog with long legs. He was a special little lure, made to wiggle and gleam and, most importantly, to tempt the fish. But Lure was very new and a little bit unsure. He wanted so much to be the very best lure he could be, to attract the biggest, most playful fish in the whole wide lake. A gentle current swayed him back and forth, a soft, rocking motion, like a lullaby of the water. Lure felt a tiny flutter in his heart, a happy, hopeful little tug. His purpose, he knew, was to shimmer and shine, to dance and to draw attention. But what colors were truly the most tempting? What gleams and glitters did the lake's wise fish find utterly irresistible? He longed to discover these secrets, to learn the colors that would make him truly special. He wiggled his little tail, a hopeful, tiny flick in the quiet water. The sun peeked through the water surface, sending down long, dancing ribbons of light. Lure watched, fascinated, as tiny motes of dust swirled and spun in these sunbeams. They weren't big, bold colors, but they sparkled. They were shiny, like tiny diamonds scattered in the water. A thought bubbled up in Lure's shiny little head. Perhaps the fish liked things that were shiny? He tried to reflect the light, turning and twisting, hoping to catch and hold those shimmering streaks. He drifted slowly, carried by the softest of currents, past tall, whispering reeds that tickled his sides. The water was a gentle blanket, cool and comforting, but Lure was on a mission. He saw a school of tiny fish dart by, their scales catching the light, blinking like little stars. They were quick, faster than a blink, and they glittered with a brilliant, eye-catching gleam. What was that beautiful, shimmering color? It wasn't blue like the deep parts of the lake, or brown like the muddy bottom. It was silver. Oh, what a magnificent color! It was the shiny silver of a smooth, polished pebble, of a moonbeam dancing on the water, of a secret treasure hidden deep beneath the waves. It wasn't a dull, sleepy color, but a bright, alert, and captivating silver. Lure felt a thrill ripple through his small body. This was one of the tempting colors. He tried to make himself even shinier, imagining his own scales were covered in that lovely, gleaming silver. He wanted to be as shiny and as tempting as a silver treasure. On drifted little Lure, a tiny explorer in a big, watery world. The whispers of the lake seemed to encourage him, a soft hum that promised more wonders. He passed by a patch of tall, waving lake grass. It swayed gracefully, like dancers performing a slow ballet. This grass was a different color, a deep, rich hue that seemed to stretch on forever, a vast underwater meadow. He watched carefully as a playful little fish, plump and happy, swam right into the middle of the waving grass, almost disappearing. Then, with a flick of its tail, it darted out again, looking quite content. The fish seemed to love this green, hidden world. This was a color of life and secrets, a place to play and to find tasty snacks. It was green. Yes, a vibrant, lively green. It was the wiggling green of the tall, flowing lake grass, the comforting green of a shady leaf on a sunny day, the fresh green of new moss clinging to a river stone. It wasn't a quiet, shy green, but a bold, inviting green, full of life and movement. Lure noticed how the grass wiggled with the current, creating a gentle, mesmerizing dance. Perhaps the fish liked things that wiggled and moved, just like the lively green plants. He gave a little wiggle himself, trying to mimic the graceful sway of the green lake grass. He wanted to be as wiggling and as tempting as that lovely, lively green. What other wonders awaited him in the lake's depths? Would he find another color, just as enchanting and just as tempting as silver and green? He felt a warm glow of excitement spread through him. The lake was a treasure chest of colors and movements, just waiting to be discovered. Lure continued his journey, a small, hopeful explorer, past smooth, mossy rocks and ancient, gnarled tree roots that reached into the water like long, welcoming fingers. The water felt a little warmer here, closer to the sun's gentle touch. He noticed a patch of pebbles on the lake bed, not dull and gray, but sparkling with a captivating warmth. And then he saw it. Something truly remarkable. A school of tiny, quick-moving minnows, their bodies almost glowing with a certain hue, were darting and playing around a small, fallen underwater flower. The flower, even beneath the water, held its brilliant color, almost radiating warmth and joy. The minnows seemed utterly captivated, swimming circles around it, as if it were the most wonderful thing they had ever seen. It was orange. A beautiful, glowing orange. It was the tempting orange of the little underwater flower, the bright orange of a sunset painted across the sky, the sweet orange of a juicy pumpkin waiting for autumn. It wasn't a shy, hiding orange, but a confident, joyful, and truly tempting orange. Lore felt his whole self light up with understanding. This color was captivating, drawing everything around it closer. It was utterly tempting. He wanted to glow with that very same inviting orange, to be as tempting and as warm as the little underwater flower. So Lure now knew. The fish loved things that were shiny, like the brilliant silver. They loved things that were wiggling, like the lively green. And they loved things that were tempting, like the glowing orange. He felt a surge of confidence, a quiet strength settling within his small, metallic heart. He had learned the lake's secrets. He began to put his new knowledge to work. He wiggled his body, imagining himself as a wiggling piece of green lake grass, swaying gently in the current. He turned and spun, trying to catch every bit of light, making himself as shiny as the silvery minnows. And deep down, he tried to radiate a warm, inviting glow, a truly tempting orange that promised fun and adventure. On wiggled little Lure, bumpity-bump with the gentle current, his shiny self now filled with newfound purpose. He drifted towards a quieter part of the lake, where the shadows were long and inviting, and where he knew big, wise fish liked to rest. He felt ready. He felt confident. He felt tempting. Suddenly, a large, friendly shadow moved in the deeper water. A magnificent fish, with fins that fanned out like elegant sails, slowly approached. This fish wasn't looking for a quick snack. It seemed curious, drawn by the shimmering dance Lure was performing. Lure wiggled a little faster, shone a little brighter, and felt his tiny self radiate that warm, tempting orange. The fish paused, its big, curious eye watching Lure's every move. It seemed utterly fascinated by the combination of colors and movements. The shiny silver, the wiggling green, and the tempting orange all worked together, creating a beautiful, irresistible display. The fish slowly, gently, nudged Lure with its nose, as if to say, "What a wonderful, playful Lure you are." It wasn't trying to eat him, just playing, drawn in by his charm. Lure had done it. He hadn't just caught a fish. He had charmed one, made a friend in the vast lake, simply by being himself and using the wonderful colors he had discovered. He had found his purpose, not just to catch, but to attract, to invite, to play. He spent the rest of the day dancing and shimmering, surrounded by admiring fish, a true artist of attraction. The sun began to set, painting the surface of the lake in hues of soft pink and purple, which filtered down into the water, making everything feel calm and peaceful. Lure felt tired, but incredibly happy. He knew that tomorrow, he would explore new parts of the lake, perhaps find even more wonderful colors and wiggles. What other secrets did the deep, blue lake hold? Perhaps a shimmering purple, or a bright, sunny yellow? Oh, the adventures that awaited him. Moral: attraction and imitation mean learning from the world around you to become your best, most inviting self.